Like, who are you? Where are you from? Who are your people? You know, that means a lot in terms of where are your roots? You know, when you need to get grounded, where do you go?
Yeah, I think that's true because so I grew up in a little town called Hartsfield, but if you would have asked me, I would have said if you would have asked me where I was from when I was 10 or 11, I would have said I'm from Bishopville, which is where like most of my family lived, which is about 15 minutes away, which is where my family was enslaved. And like I knew like my mama and my grandparents lived in the little town where I grew up.
Right.
That wasn't where I was from. I was from 15 minutes away in Bishopville.
Right.
So we was tied to that land.
Absolutely.
And I remember like even as an adult now, especially in writing this book, I would think back like, oh, the circumstances I was being raised under, I don't even know if they was intentionally doing it. Like saying, we're going to make you remember your history.
Right.
But like my aunts would take us back to my cousins and aunts and uncles.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And we would just sit there.
Absolutely.
And I realized they wasn't even telling me the stories, but you heard the same story so many times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That you remember those stories. And it's really tied to the land.
Absolutely. And they were constructing identity, I think. Right. Our parents may not have used this language. They may not have had this nomenclature, but they certainly had the sentiment. Mm-hmm. Right. Because I had very similar experiences. I was in Kansas City from birth till about 7. Mm-hmm. And I remember my father 4 or 5 times a year would take us to rural Arkansas, where he's from. And we'd go around visiting people, right? And when we got there, you always speak to these elders, right? And then they'd say, you kids go play.
Yeah.
Right. But go play, it was always on the land.
Yeah.
Right. So there was something about the way in which they knew that a person who could identify their footprints, right? And a person who remembered the path of their footprints could always get home.
Yeah, that is.